Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show. And today I got a pretty hilarious topic for you guys. At least I think it's funny. At least Marco and I think it's funny. And the topic is, will Kawhi Leonard be a hilarious Old Spice brand ambassador? So that's the topic I want to get into today. I know it's a little bit off, but just bear with me because I think you guys are probably going to enjoy this video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, we're thinking about launching our premium platform, Dreamerspro Premium Platform. So we have the link in the description below. So just please check that out and leave a vote on whatever you guys think, and also leave a comment. We really appreciate the feedback. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you check out our Dreamerspro Podcast. It's on Spotify. We're going to put that in a link in the description below. The link is going to be there so you guys can check that out and check out the podcast if that's what you guys like to listen to. If you enjoy consuming your content via a podcast, is there for you guys. So let me just get into this episode here. And before I get into it, let me just give you sort of the genesis of this idea, this topic. Okay, I was watching some Old Spice commercials, right? These random commercials, and they have some pretty funny brand ambassadors. One namingly is Terry Crews. Okay, Terry Crews, is the actor. He has a lot of muscles, big dude, and he's been in the media for various reasons, which I'm not going to get into. We're just going to focus on this particular idea here. And he does these hilarious Old Spice commercials. Now, for some of you guys who may not be familiar with Old Spice is an American, it's American grooming brand, basically for males. And basically, they have deodorants, they have antiperspirants, they have shampoos, body washes, and soaps, and and all of this is manufactured by Procter and Gamble. And they've been around for a long time. This brand has been around for about 83 years, and they have their products are sold worldwide. But they have these genius commercials that are just hilarious. It's usually featuring, a very muscular guy, right, with a very muscular build, and they have like these hilarious over-the-top commercials, but they get the point across, right? They're quite wacky, but they're memorable, right? And it made me begin to think of Kawhi Leonard and sort of his brand endorsements, right? And when you think of Kawhi, you don't really think of too many endorsements, with the exception of the New Balance deal that he has with New Balance, in which we did a full breakdown of why Kawhi Leonard left the Jordan brand. And we're going to show that somewhere here. We're going to link that in the description below so you guys can go check that out and sort of see how that whole thing started and how he left Jordan brand to go with the sign of New Balance and how that thing came about. And when you saw all of those New Balance commercials in the beginning of the season, and you saw him there with some commercials with the Terminator when he was in that. So we sort of explained that. Now, Kawhi Leonard seems a bit aloof. He's not on social media. He doesn't have an Instagram account. He doesn't have any social media accounts, which makes him quite mysterious. You don't really know much about him as to the lore of him. And we also did a video comparing Kawhi Leonard and Michael Jordan, where we touched on that a little bit, where you guys can definitely check that out. We're going to link that in the description below. And I thought about this brand and how they make these iconic commercials. If you search their commercials get tens of millions of views on YouTube. So they understand what they're doing very well. Now, you may be asking yourself, why the hell would Kawhi Leonard be a fantastic brand ambassador for Old Spice? First of all, we all know that Kawhi Leonard has a very dry sense of humor, okay? A very, very dry sense of humor. And essentially, what makes Kawhi Leonard, if you had to do a compilation of Kawhi Leonard's funniest moments, is just little sound bites. It's him laughing. Now, if some of you guys have not heard the Kawhi Leonard laugh, we're going to cue it up for you right here. So take a listen to it.
Yourself, and what would you like people to know about you?
I'm a fun guy. Obviously, I love the game of basketball. It's just more questions you have to ask me in order for me to tell you about myself. I just can't give you a whole spiel. I don't even know where you're sitting at.
Now, if you listen to Kawhi Leonard laugh, it is the funniest thing in the world, because you look at the dude and it's like, how the hell could that kind of laugh come from somebody like this? If you look at him, you wouldn't assume that he would have that type of laugh, but that's just Kawhi. And he's known for he has a very dry sense of humor, even when the Toronto Raptors won their championship, and he was at, I think at the parade, and he gave his speech, and at the end of it, he did his funny ha-ha, aha, aha. If you guys forgot that, take a listen to that right here again.
I just want to say thank y'all for welcoming me here after the trade with open arms, man. It made my experience that much better. This group of guys let me do what I do on the floor. Coach Nick let me do what I do. And now we got a championship. Thank you. And like they said, enjoy this moment, and have fun with it. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah! And there you can see him trying to be funny. Now, it's him trying to be funny, which is not funny, which makes it funny, and therefore everybody started laughing, right? And he's also known for, I'm a really fun guy and all of these different things. And it made me think about Old Spice, and I thought to myself, Kawhi Leonard would be a fantastic brand ambassador for this company. Some of you may say, but Kawhi Leonard is very laid back, and he doesn't need to do that. He needs to focus on basketball. Well, I understand that some athletes tend to spread themselves too thin, but if you have the right pairing, right, the right match made in heaven, I think it can work wonders for your brand. One of the things I think some people that are really good at picking partnerships is being very selective, right? You don't want to work with everyone. You see some YouTube channels that are very big, they have a lot of followers, and everybody and their grandmother can come in and do sponsored content on their channel because they're just chasing a bag of money. And there's nothing wrong with making some money in the process. By all means, if that's what you want to do, no problem whatsoever. However, I think when you're very selective with the type of brands that you want to work with, it makes that sponsorship all the more meaningful. A great example of this is Chris Paul, right? Chris Paul has been in the NBA for I think about 15 years or so, but Chris Paul is also known very well off the court for his State Farm commercials, okay? Chris Paul, for whatever reason, I don't know how that whole deal came about, but it seems like a match made in heaven. And I don't see Chris Paul in so many other commercials. Granted, I don't live in the States as much, but I do know that the State Farm commercials has been something that he's been doing for years, and most likely is going to be something he'll be doing for years to come, even after he's retired, sort of similarly to Michael Jordan and Hanes, the underwear company. MJ has been retired for God knows how many years, at least 2 decades now. Yeah, going on 2 decades now, but he still does commercials with these type of brands. And I think that Kawhi Leonard can do a very good job if he was to do an Old Spice commercial. Now, some of you guys may be like, hey, man, why would Kawhi Leonard want to do that? He's just focused on his brand and this and this and this. Well, I think that a partnership like this, just looking at how over the top these Old Spice commercials are, and how laid back Kawhi Leonard is. I think if he were to do a commercial with Old Spice, I think it would be the most ironic thing ever, because Old Spice is very over the top, they're very flamboyant, they're in your face. If you see their commercials, they're unforgettable. And if you think of Kawhi Leonard, even if you watch his press game conferences, half of the time when he starts his conferences, if you look at his face, he's already staring up at the ceiling like, oh my God. He's always looking like, okay, where am I? Am I supposed to be here? Am I in the right room? Am I the person that's supposed to be interviewing? So imagine pairing these two guys together. You saw that with the Terminator commercial that he did, I think in LA Fitness, I think at the beginning of the season, in which Paul George was also featured in that commercial. And you saw him in that commercial, like, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he did a pretty good job, actually. He wasn't too boring. You saw the New Balance commercials, which is something, again, I talked about in that video, where they were able to capture the essence of Kawhi Leonard, which is the genius of that brand, which is, if you look at all of the New Balance commercials that they've done with Kawhi Leonard, in none of those commercials, Kawhi Leonard says, he doesn't even say one word, not even one word. And I think it's a masterful job on their part because it stays true to the Kawhi Leonard brand. Kawhi doesn't talk. You rarely hear him talk. And when he does talk, it's like he doesn't even want to talk. So for them to be able to do commercials and still tell his story without him saying virtually anything in these commercials shows you how, if you have some really smart marketing people that can come together and create, a really great piece of content, in this case, the New Balance commercial. So for me, thinking about it, I think that Kawhi Leonard should definitely do some Old Spice commercials, and we got to figure out a way on how the hell we're either going to contact Kawhi Leonard. Maybe some of you guys know him. I don't know Kawhi. I don't know how to contact Kawhi. Maybe some of you guys have his email account. Ask yourself the question, if you wanted to contact Kawhi Leonard, how the hell would you go about contacting him? There's no way. I don't even know how you can contact this dude, but we got to pitch this idea of this Old Spice commercial to Kawhi Leonard, because I think it would make them millions upon millions upon millions of dollars if they partner with him. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think Kawhi Leonard will be a hilarious brand ambassador for Old Spice, or do you think he would be a great brand ambassador for another brand? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Peace.